It looks like a naval warship roaming the high seas, but the gunmetal gray walls are actually ferro-concrete. Scores of buildings rise from every corner of this impossibly jammed piece of real estate. Ruins of a teeming community built right in the middle of the ocean on top of a coal mine. Now 74, Tomoji Kobata was among the 5,000 souls crammed onto just 15 acres. Kobata became a coal miner in 1961 at the age of 24. The work was hellish and living quarters beyond Spartan.
4 of us bunked here since there wasn't room, and I was the youngest. I had to sleep in the closet.
And yet, Kobata was shocked to find not Appalachia, but relative affluence. The hive-like community hummed along in a coal boom and a surprising spirit of cooperation.
Hashima had everything: schools, daycare, a post office, a movie theater, pawn shop, bars, and even a brothel. The only thing missing was a funeral home and a cemetery.
At its peak, this island was the most densely populated place on Earth. Yet despite the overcrowding and the difficult conditions in the coal mines, the people of this island somehow managed to create their own kind of utopia. Canadian native and Nagasaki historian Brian Burke-Gaffney says Hashima's astonishing degree of harmony was rooted in its common sense of purpose.
It shows a successful example of people not under duress, people of their own free will living under these very tight conditions, but eking out a happy lifestyle.
Hashima had a jail, but crime was all but unheard of. Doors were left unlocked, neighbors looked after one another. But after 80 years, the coal boom went bust. When the Hashima mine closed in 1974, it took just 3 months for residents to clear out, many rich enough to leave their appliances and belongings behind. Now the pillars of the coal conveyor stand silent. The 7-story school, roomy enough for 1,000 children, is crumbling. The concrete high-rise apartments, once some of Japan's most modern, are in decay. Only seabirds and boatloads of tourists set foot on the island these days. The ghostly ruins have become a sober metaphor in Japan, a dire warning about how fast prosperity can turn to dust.
It's a lesson to humanity, I think, because it tells us about, the fact that we're living on resources. And as soon as these resources are depleted, our wonderful lifestyle collapses.
Lesson that speaks all the more loudly now as Japan confronts its post-nuclear future.